The scene shows a worker intently focused on adjusting or inspecting a machine. Crucially, the worker is unaware of the immediate area behind him. During his work, a large metal component or pusher mechanism unexpectedly extends or is ejected backwards from the machine. The worker is pinched or compressed against a fixed object by the forceful outward movement. Fortunately, the worker is able to struggle free and escape the immediate pinch point. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with uncontrolled machine action and lack of spatial awareness. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory clear communication of machine operating cycles, strict adherence to maintaining awareness of all machine movement paths, and always maintaining a clear exit route when working near complex or automated machinery to prevent catastrophic pinch and compression injuries. The scene shows two workers performing maintenance or adjustments on a machine component. Suddenly, there is an unforeseen, forceful upward jerk or kickback from the machinery's mechanism. This unexpected force directly impacts one worker, causing him to be violently flung backward and fall onto the ground. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with stored energy release, mechanical failure, or uncontrolled activation during maintenance. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory adherence to lockout, tagout, LOTO procedures to neutralize all potential energy sources, always positioning oneself outside the path of potential mechanical kickback, and strictly verifying that the machine is de-energized and blocked before any repair or adjustment is performed to prevent catastrophic impact and fall injuries. The video shows a worker entering a machine after believing it was safely shut down. As the worker stepped into the operating area, the machine unexpectedly reactivated, forcefully compressing him. Colleagues quickly intervened to shut down power and pull the worker free. This incident demonstrates the extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with residual energy and failed shutdown procedures. This footage emphasizes the mandatory necessity of verified lockout, tagout, LOTO procedures, including testing for zero energy and never assuming power is fully off before entering any machinery to prevent catastrophic entrapment. The scene shows a worker preparing to use a crane to lift or handle large, heavy steel coils that are stacked high. As the worker steps into a gap or aisleway near the stacked coils, the unsecured column of coils suddenly destabilizes and collapses. The massive rolling coils fall and forcefully pin the worker, leaving him completely trapped and immobilized. This incident highlights an immediate and extreme risk of severe physical harm associated with improperly stacked heavy materials and failing to maintain safe working clearances. This footage serves as a vital safety warning, emphasizing the necessity of mandatory strict adherence to safe stacking protocols, ensuring adequate aisle clearances are maintained, and never entering the potential collapse zone around unstable or unsafely stacked materials to prevent catastrophic entrapment and compression injuries. The video captures a dangerous repair incident where a worker was applying forceful leverage to a machine part. The tool or bar suddenly broke free and violently kicked back, causing the worker to be propelled backward and fall hard onto the ground. This demonstrates the extreme risk of severe physical harm from uncontrolled mechanical force and improper tool use. This footage emphasizes the mandatory use of correct tools and techniques, and always maintaining a balanced and stable stance to prevent catastrophic fall injuries caused by mechanical kickback. Factory Safety Incident Review. Surveillance footage captured a critical safety failure when a crew, attempting to manually maneuver a large, heavy glass panel, lost control, causing the material to topple and shatter onto the floor around the 30-second mark. During this event, a worker near the impact zone was strongly affected by the rapid movement and collapse, but quickly recovered. This serious incident serves as a crucial reminder that relying on manual force for heavy, fragile items introduces extreme risk, making specialized lifting equipment indispensable. Furthermore, all personnel must rigorously adhere to established safety perimeters and be fully equipped with appropriate personal protective equipment, PPE, including cut-resistant gloves and eye protection, to ensure worker well-being and prevent contact hazards during material handling. Surveillance footage captured a critical workplace safety incident in a repair bay where mechanics were servicing a heavy truck. With the dump bed elevated, the crew was positioned underneath or near the body to perform repairs when the support mechanism failed, causing the entire truck bed to suddenly and unexpectedly descend, resulting in the workers being unable to clear the area in time and subsequently being contacted by the heavy, collapsing load. This event underscores the absolute necessity of adhering to strict safety protocols, specifically utilizing load-holding safety props or mechanical lock bars before positioning personnel beneath any elevated vehicle component, thereby preventing the severe risk associated with an uncommanded descent. Surveillance footage captured a serious workplace hazard in a lumber processing yard where a worker was focused on securing or removing the side gates of a truck bed when suddenly an unsecured piece of timber was propelled forcefully from behind, making direct contact with his head. The unexpected and rapid impact caused the worker to immediately lose stability and collapse to the ground. This event underscores the critical necessity of strictly enforcing the use of personal protective equipment, PPE, specifically hard hats, to protect against severe head injury from uncontrolled or flying objects, and further stresses the importance of maintaining situational awareness to avoid hazards originating from dynamic processes behind the worker. Surveillance footage captured a severe material handling incident in a warehouse environment where a crew was utilizing a forklift to stack cargo pallets, and while workers were paused, bending down to check a perceived obstruction in the stack, the entire load suddenly became unstable and underwent a catastrophic collapse. The falling cargo subsequently struck and pinned the two adjacent workers under the heavy weight. This event strongly underscores the critical necessity of adhering to strict load stability protocols, e.g., proper interlocking, wrapping, and weight limits during all stacking operations, and maintaining a mandatory exclusion zone or clear distance from any elevated or potentially unstable cargo to prevent severe injury from falling materials. Surveillance footage captured a severe material handling incident within a cargo loading warehouse where a forklift operator was attempting to stack cargo at an extreme height near several ground workers when the tall, unstable load suddenly failed, resulting in a catastrophic collapse. The heavy falling cargo immediately trapped the forklift operator within the confines of the vehicle and debris. This incident critically highlights the necessity of strict adherence to safe stacking, height limits, and load stability protocols in all warehouse operations, requiring the establishment of mandatory exclusion zones to keep both ground workers and equipment operators clear of high-risk areas prone to unexpected collapse. Surveillance footage captured a critical lifting operation failure, where two workers were attempting to steady a large piece of equipment being hoisted by a crane. Due to a sudden loss of control and momentum, the heavy equipment began to roll or swing violently, overwhelming the workers' ability to stabilize it. This instability led to both the equipment and the two workers falling sharply from a significant height to the ground below. This incident powerfully underscores the absolute necessity of rigorous pre-lift planning, proper load rigging, and tagline usage to control rotation, and strictly enforcing a mandatory exclusion zone below all suspended loads to ensure personnel are never positioned in a high-risk area prone to collapse or uncontrolled descent. The video footage documented a severe hazard in a repair facility where a group of workers was positioned near a tire repair technician who was inflating a heavy vehicle tire. Due to excessive air pressure, the tire suddenly exploded violently, creating a powerful pressure wave that forcefully ejected the technician standing directly next to the wheel well. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of strictly adhering to manufacturer-specified maximum inflation limits and utilizing tire safety cages or portable restraints when inflating large tires, and strongly reinforces the need for all personnel to maintain a mandatory clear exclusion zone away from tires under high pressure. Surveillance footage captured a severe machine activation failure within a lumber processing plant where two workers were traversing a large conveyor or machine assembly that had been temporarily deactivated. While the workers were walking on the stationary equipment, the machinery suddenly reactivated without warning, causing both individuals to be caught and drawn into the moving components. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of strictly adhering to lockout, tagout, LOTO, procedures for all maintenance and access tasks to ensure equipment is fully de-energized and cannot be unexpectedly restarted, and mandates that personnel must never enter or walk on machinery unless verified safety isolation protocols are in place. Surveillance footage documented a serious safety failure on a construction site where a worker was walking in the active work area without maintaining full situational awareness. Simultaneously, the operator of a heavy road roller failed to maintain continuous observation of the path ahead, resulting in the heavy machinery subsequently colliding with the walking worker on the recently paved or serviced roadway. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of enforcing strict pedestrian safety protocols within construction zones, requiring workers on foot to maintain vigilance, and mandates that all heavy equipment operators use a dedicated spotter and conduct a 360-degree clear check before moving, especially in areas where personnel are present.
Surveillance footage captured a high-elevation construction safety incident where a worker was seated on a temporary plank or scaffold setup. The worker positioned himself too close to the unsupported edge of the platform without full awareness, causing the plank to instantly lose balance and tilt, resulting in the worker falling from the elevated position. Fortunately, the worker was properly connected to his fall arrest system, safety harness, and lanyard, which immediately engaged and successfully prevented a serious outcome. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of maintaining safe work positioning and strictly adhering to the mandatory 100% tie-off rule whenever working at height.
The video footage captured a severe hazard in a repair area where a crew was performing a heavy-duty tire inflation task. As they were aggressively pumping air into the large tire, it suddenly ruptured and exploded violently due to excessive pressure. The resulting blast of energy forcefully ejected one of the technicians standing nearby and created a thick cloud of dust and debris in the vicinity. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of strictly adhering to manufacturer-specified maximum inflation limits and always utilizing tire safety cages or restraints when servicing large, high-pressure tires, and strongly reinforces the need for all personnel to maintain a mandatory clear exclusion zone away from tires under high pressure.
The video footage captured a serious material handling incident within a heavy-duty loading bay where a team was working amidst large cargo. A crane or heavy lift vehicle was operating in the area when a ground worker walked directly into the operator's blind spot. The driver proceeded to pivot the vehicle without visual confirmation of the pedestrian's presence, resulting in a strong collision with the walking worker. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of rigorous pedestrian safety protocols within warehousing environments, requiring workers to maintain a safe distance, exclusion zone from moving equipment, and mandates that all heavy equipment operators use dedicated spotters, audible warning systems, and perform continuous 360-degree clear checks before any maneuver to fully mitigate blind spot risks. Surveillance footage captured a fortuitous near miss during a period of intense rain where a woman was sweeping an outdoor area. Experiencing a sudden feeling of unease or premonition, she prudently decided to step inside a nearby storage shed. Moments later, a massive earth collapse or landslide occurred without warning, immediately engulfing the exact spot where she had been standing seconds before. This incident serves as a crucial reminder of the absolute necessity of maintaining situational awareness and immediate evacuation protocols during severe weather and heavy precipitation, as environmental factors can lead to sudden, large-scale geological hazards, such as unexpected land or mudslides.
Surveillance footage captured a high-risk recovery operation where a heavily listing cement mixer truck was on the verge of overturning. A crew deployed a large crane to attach and lift the mixer back upright. However, due to the extreme and uncontrolled weight of the cement-filled truck, the crane operator was unable to manage the load, leading to the crane suddenly losing stability and overturning violently. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of performing rigorous load calculation and weight distribution assessments prior to any heavy recovery operation, and strictly mandates that crane operators must never exceed the equipment's rated lifting capacity to prevent catastrophic equipment failure and subsequent collapse. Surveillance footage captured a catastrophic structural failure during an active demolition project where two excavators were engaged in dismantling a structure. Without warning or expectation, the main structural elements suffered a sudden and massive collapse, causing the rapid descent of debris. One of the excavators operating within the structure's footprint was immediately overwhelmed and buried by the falling material. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of performing rigorous pre-demolition engineering surveys and continuous structural monitoring during dismantling, and mandates that all heavy equipment must maintain a mandatory clear distance or swing radius outside the fall zone of the structure, being removed to prevent entrapment and equipment damage from unexpected collapse.
Surveillance footage captured a severe scaffolding failure during an active construction project where several workers were positioned on an elevated platform. The scaffolding suddenly suffered a collapse and gave way, apparently due to improper or insufficient stabilization and bracing. Fortunately, one of the workers demonstrated quick reflexes and was able to jump clear of the falling structure at the last moment, successfully avoiding direct impact and potential injury. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of rigorous pre-use inspection and secure anchoring of all temporary scaffolding systems, mandating that structures are robustly installed and routinely checked to prevent catastrophic failure and ensuing hazards. The video footage captured a severe collision in a machine-operating environment where a pedestrian was walking within an area designated for equipment movement. A wheel loader was reversing, and due to a blind spot or obstructed rear view, the operator failed to notice the walking worker. The vehicle subsequently backed up and made strong contact with the pedestrian, resulting in the accident. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of enforcing strict segregation protocols between moving heavy equipment and pedestrians in industrial settings. It mandates that all heavy machinery operators must utilize spotters, rear-view cameras, and audible alarms, and perform continuous 360-degree clear checks before reversing, while pedestrians must strictly avoid vehicle travel lanes to prevent catastrophic blind spot collisions. The video footage captured a severe electrical incident where a utility technician was preparing to perform maintenance on low-voltage power equipment. As the worker accessed the unit, the equipment instantly experienced a catastrophic failure, resulting in a violent arc flash event accompanied by a powerful burst of energy and fire. The technician reacted rapidly, successfully retreating from the immediate hazard zone and avoiding the primary effects of the electrical discharge. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of rigorous de-energization and verification protocols, lockout, tagout, LOTO, and the mandatory use of appropriate arc flash-rated personal protective equipment, PPE, to shield personnel from the intense thermal and pressure waves inherent in electrical equipment failure. Surveillance footage captured a dangerous equipment entanglement event in a production facility where a worker was positioned close to a high-speed rotating roller machine. Due to the worker wearing loose-fitting clothing and standing too near the active components, the garment's sleeve was suddenly caught and powerfully pulled into the rapidly turning mechanism. Fortunately, the sleeve tore away from the main garment instantly, allowing the worker to escape the severe entanglement hazard without being fully drawn into the machine. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of enforcing strict dress code policies, prohibiting loose clothing, jewelry, or long hair near rotating machinery, and mandates the implementation of clear safety barriers and exclusion zones to prevent operators from approaching active pinch and entanglement points. The video footage captured an unsafe material retrieval operation where a worker was standing in an elevated position on a forklift platform, or lifted pallet cage, to access stored items. While the worker was reaching for cargo, a heavy item inside the storage area was dislodged and forcefully struck the worker, causing him to lose balance and fall from the lift. The subsequent impact caused the stack of nearby cargo to topple over and heavily collapse onto the worker. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of prohibiting the practice of personnel lifting using standard forklift forks or non-certified platforms, and mandates the use of approved, securely railed man baskets, aerial work platforms, AWPs, for elevated work, along with ensuring that all high-level shelving and cargo stacks are properly secured and stable to prevent unexpected dislodgement and collapse. Surveillance footage captured a dangerous structural failure near the entrance of a production facility involving two individuals. As one woman stood up and stepped forward, the large security or entry gate suddenly suffered a catastrophic collapse, apparently due to severe structural instability or degraded anchoring. The heavy gate immediately fell and strongly impacted the woman, pinning her beneath the structure. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of conducting routine and thorough structural integrity inspections on all heavy, moving access gates and barriers. It mandates immediate repair or replacement of any unstable components to prevent unexpected collapse hazards in high-traffic pedestrian areas. The video footage captured an unsafe material handling event where a worker attempted to manually move a heavy wooden container crate, pallet, across a worksite, bypassing the use of a forklift or appropriate lifting equipment. Due to the significant weight and lack of mechanical assistance, the worker lost footing, causing the large container to topple and pin him beneath its weight. Fortunately, a passing motorist witnessed the incident, immediately stopped, and provided crucial aid to free the trapped worker. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of strictly adhering to safe lifting protocols, mandating the use of appropriate mechanical aids for handling heavy loads, and underscores the high risk of severe overexertion and pinning hazards when circumventing established safety procedures. Surveillance footage captured a dangerous machining incident where a worker was grinding a metal bar using a high-speed rotating spindle or grinding wheel. Due to excessive rotational force or insecure clamping, the metal bar suddenly broke loose and was violently ejected from the spindle's axis. Fortunately, the projectile missed the worker, who was standing nearby. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of ensuring secure and proper clamping of all workpieces before engaging power tools, and mandates the use of appropriate guards and strong safety shields to contain potential flying debris and prevent severe injury from high-velocity shrapnel during grinding or machining operations. The video footage captured an unsafe manual loading operation where a group of workers was manually lifting and stacking large metal sheets onto a flatbed truck, bypassing the use of appropriate mechanical assistance like a forklift. As the crew attempted to hoist one sheet, it became severely unbalanced, causing it to strike the existing stack of sheets on the truck bed. This impact triggered a cascading collapse of the stacked metal sheets, which then fell and made strong contact with one of the nearby workers. Fortunately, the worker was only lightly pinned by the material. This event critically highlights the absolute necessity of using mechanical aids for heavy or bulky load handling and mandates that all materials stacked during loading or transport must be properly braced and secured to prevent shifting and catastrophic collapse hazards. Surveillance footage captured an unsafe demolition attempt where a worker was manually dismantling a section of a wall structure without using appropriate tools or mechanical assistance. The individual attempted to use sheer force to push the structure over. As the wall suddenly collapsed, the worker was unable to move clear in time and was impacted by the falling structure, causing him to be knocked violently forward. This incident critically highlights the absolute necessity of pre-planning demolition activities, establishing a clear exclusion zone, fall zone, and mandates the use of appropriate demolition tools or mechanical assistance to safely direct the fall path and maintain a safe distance from collapsing materials.